What up, what up? Hello, everybody. Now just waiting. There we go. Am I connecting? Cool. Nice. I love it when things go easy. Hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Notice I am in a different location than normal. I wanted to switch it up. Fridays are always the days that I spend a little bit longer at the gym. I take my time. I get to do some yoga. I get to do some step classes and really just get to get myself in a really, really good place, both feeling physically good and also feeling really connected emotionally. And so I kind of was like, hey, I don't want to sit in my chair. Like I want to be out of my office and kind of just, be in a little bit of a different place. So hopefully you can all hear me okay. Because again, it is a little bit of a different spot. So hopefully there's not too much of an echo or whatever. But today is day 4 of our Be Your Own Valentine, which we have been doing since Tuesday. We announced that we were starting this on Monday. On Tuesday, we did a video, just like announcement of what we were going to be doing. On Wednesday, David actually shared some really great insight about mindset and how mindset is so important when it comes to healing, whether it's dealing with those subconscious things, dealing with that trauma, having that PTSD, those underlying things, a feeling of worthiness. David gave a bunch of great information about helping people really peel back the layers and get to that root of the issue so that healing can happen at a much quicker pace. So if you missed that, definitely send me a private message. I can shoot over the replay of that for you if you would like that. And then yesterday, we actually had Melissa Pavone Murphy. If you did not get to watch that, it was excellent because it was really about anywhere from you're preparing, thinking about getting a divorce all the way to the other side. But she was talking about finances. Finances are one of the biggest reasons why people don't go through with their divorce. I mean, let's face it. If you were thinking about getting a divorce, you've been probably thinking about it for a while and you haven't taken action on it. And one of the reasons might specifically be because you're worried about finances. So one of the things that she suggested is when you're starting to the thinking about process, you first grab yourself a coach to make sure that you've got someone to help you stay focused on what you need to focus on. Then you go and speak to a certified financial advisor. And then is when you speak to your lawyer. So she gave some really great insight of some things that you can do to really protect yourself. And if you're already on the other side, some other things that you can do to make sure that you are going to be financially taken care of and not be worried and scrambling now that maybe finances have changed in a very drastic way than what they were before. So definitely, if you missed those, definitely reach out to me. If you're watching this in the private Facebook group, you can always just comment which one, whether you need financial, you need mindset, or you need the intro, just you can comment that. If you're on any of the other medias that we are on, send me a private message and I will shoot over those links to you. So definitely worth checking out. And, today is going to be a really exciting day. We're going to talk about creating healthy relationships. But before I jump into that, let me just say that next week, we're doing this all the way until Valentine's Day. This is Be Your Own Valentine. So this is going to go all the way up until Valentine's Day itself. So next week, we're going to have mediators. We're going to have a divorce attorney. We're going to have specifically a divorce coach to help you make sure that you are saving money and getting all of your paperwork done without having to shell out more to your divorce attorneys. I mean, we have a lot of great people that are going to be, that are experts in their fields, that are going to be sharing information and helping to support you wherever you are in the process. So make sure that you put a little note in your calendar, on your phone, wherever it is that you have a calendar. I have two. I have a desk calendar, because I was a teacher for 18 years. So I like to see it written out, but I also have that calendar on my phone too. So wherever that works best for you, write that down. It's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern would be 1 o'clock, Central would be 12, Mountain would be from 12, 11, 10 if you're Pacific time. So just so that it's all an hour difference. So I always give it an Eastern time. We are in Central time, so it's noon for us. But write it down on your calendar so that you can make it to the live. And if you can't watch live, remember, you can always watch the replay. I would suggest if you are following on the other social medias and you're a female, I recommend joining our FB group, which is Divorce Support, Heal, Rebuild, and Thrive. Definitely go over and do that. It's easiest to get all of the replays there. If you're a dude, you're still welcome to watch all of this because we help a lot of really wonderful men. I would suggest joining or subscribing to our YouTube YouTube channel where you will be able to watch this as well as a replay if you can't watch it live. For those of you on the other medias, it disappears after we go live. So not my choice. It's just the way that those things go. So definitely want to make sure that you are doing that. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed to these channels, make sure that you are following, subscribing, so you can get all the great videos and all the great information that we are sharing. So in all of that, I forgot to mention, if this is your first time coming on and you haven't met me before, my name is Stephanie McPhail. I'm a love and life success coach, and we really specialize in the thinking about divorce and beyond. So all the way through the process, if you're thinking divorce, A to Z, this is the one-stop shop. So I know that if you've been thinking about it for a while, it is not a healthy relationship. It's probably been toxic for a while. I just spoke with someone yesterday who said she knew that she needed to get a divorce for 20 years and she stayed for 30. So, everyone's in their different process. They're in their different place. You get there when you get there. Of course, if there are ways for you to work it through, know the way to work through that relationship is to have healthy communication. We're going to talk a little bit about some of that. But if you are at that place where you know there's no going back and you're in that thinking process, let's get you the tools and the support that you need to start making those decisions and creating your most amazing life, because we are reminded all the time that life is way too short. And you never know when's going to be that last breath or that last time that you get to do these wonderful things of waking up every day. This is not forever. So why put off taking care of ourselves? Why put off living our best life? And that is really what I am so passionate about, because as someone who was stuck in really crappy relationships for a long time and then decided I was going to do whatever it took to get out of that and get out of that cycle. And now I get to share that with other people. I am all too aware how many of us feel like we've wasted our time and wasted our life. And we don't want to do that. Once we know what's going on, we want to take immediate action to start creating change. And we're going to talk about a great opportunity at the end if you would like to get some extra support doing that. So who is ready to dive in? Comment dive in the comments. Let me just make sure I got everybody. I see a few people watching. Comment dive in if you're ready to talk about creating healthy relationships. Write that right in the comments. The more you interact, the better it is, because I can see what you're writing, and I can also add on to whatever I'm talking about to make sure that I am keeping what your needs are and what your interests are in getting support, whatever that is. What's up, Sarah? Good to see you. Dive in. All right, we got some dive ins. Cool. Okay, so what I am going to do is talk about healthy relationships. All right, so we've done the crappy relationship. Some of you might still be in it and you're like, I don't know about leaving because it's really scary. Maybe they're worried about finances. Maybe they're worried about being alone forever. Maybe they're worried that there's something wrong with them. But they have this idea maybe there's possibility of something else on the other side. And, and I remember that was actually one of the things that I kept thinking to myself is, even if there is only the slightest chance that something can be better, I need to give myself that opportunity, because this sucks and I don't want to do this anymore. And so whenever I was like, this is really overwhelming, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if I can make all those changes, I kept thinking to myself, yes, but maybe something can be better if I do something now. And that was kind of the beginning of that. I call it that mustard seed of hope, is that little tiny inspiration that maybe I can do something better for myself if I decide to start making changes. So I went through the divorce, I got out on the other side, and I thought, I'm just never going to do that again. And I found myself repeating some of the same patterns. And so I want to keep you from doing that. So we want to make sure that we are preparing ourselves to set ourselves up for success, so that we stop wasting time and start really living that life that we were put here to live, living in purpose, living in passion, being able to wake up every day and be like, yes, this is so cool that I get to do this another day. So the first thing that I really wanted to talk about with creating healthy relationships is, and if you've seen me talk before, some of these are like, all right, I get it, I need to do this, but practice making new friends. I know that a lot of people will say to me that, and this is whether you're in the divorce process, which I would recommend starting it while you're in the divorce process. I know you might be stressed and overwhelmed, but start doing this now, because it's going to help you through. So everything I'm going to talk about is like from the divorce process starting to continue on from that. Start practicing making new friends. There's a few reasons for that. Number one, the other people that you have known for all of the years that you've known them know also your ex. They know how things used to be. And so a lot of those people are part of the reason why you stayed as long as you did in a relationship that wasn't healthy. Maybe you commiserated with each other about how shitty your relationships were. Maybe they added to the stress in your relationship. Maybe they were, the supportive ear, but they didn't give you very good advice. So they are bringing it up. And what happens a lot of times too, is that they will bring up stories or things that they hear about the ex, which re-triggers us and makes us feel bad about the decisions that we're making. So starting to learn how to create new friendships is going to be really important, because you are becoming the new version of you. If everyone that you have in your circle has all been there, done that with you before, then they might hold on to that version of you that was the person stuck in those toxic relationships. So creating and building those new relationships is going to be something that's really important. Also, too, in creating those new relationships, you're going to be going and having new adventures. So you're going to go and find out in your area. I don't recommend too far out. Like, let's stay local within an hour or so. But you're going to look up on Facebook, on Meetup, any of the places where you can locate like things that are going on, even though like the libraries do stuff. Look up things that you enjoy doing. There are plenty of singles meetups. Singles, we're looking for same sex, like people that are, if you're a female, guys, you're looking for people. You're not looking for dating, I guess is probably the better way of saying it. You are not looking for dating. You are looking for friendships. And this is going to be really important when you're going, because when you're in it and you're hoping that maybe things get better, there's that part of you that's like, that feels like you're not attractive enough, or maybe there's something wrong with you. So there's a little piece that might be like, oh, it'd be great if I met someone right away, that I can show them that I'm worth it and I can feel good about myself. We don't want to do that. No dating. No dating while you're going through a divorce. No dating as you're working on the healing process, okay? We're looking to create friendships where there's no sex involved. We're just creating friendships. And that is because we are looking at finding people that have similar interests as us. This is going to do two things. Number one, it's going to have people that are different than who we've had before. It's going to be people that are going to be supporting in the person you are becoming, not the person that you were. But it's also going to get you to go out and try new things. All of those things that you wanted to do while you were in the relationship that you didn't, that you put on the back burner because you were worried about them or worried about the relationship, or you were just taking care of everybody else, we're going to start going to do those things. This is your chance to really transform and make it so that you're doing those things that you've loved doing. Maybe you lost those passions. Maybe there's things you didn't even know that you love doing. So we want to go out and try doing those things. So it's a two-pronged kind of way of making friends. And I will tell you that as in all the years that I've been doing this, people will always tell me that it's so hard to make new friends before they go out and do the things that I remind them to do. Making new friends is the same as when you're a little kid. When you're a little kid, you go to the playground and all of a sudden you're both going on the slide and you're like, hey, you want to be friends and play? And you're like, yeah, sure. And then they're best friends for the time that they're at the slide, they're playing. It really is the same thing with adults, except it might not be a slide, although that would be cool too. But it's going to be, you're going to go do those things that you like, and then you're hanging out, having a great time with them. And you're like, hey, let's go get coffee sometime. Or, hey, I'm doing this. Do you want to join? Dude, it's the same exact thing. And I will say too, that there's a lot of people that want to go out and make new friends, but they're afraid of making that step of saying, hey, let's go hang out after this thing that we're doing together. So one of us is going to do it. It's going to be you. I don't care if you're an introvert. Don't use that as a reason not to go out and make friends. I'm serious. Introverts, extroverts, we all need our people. We all need our community. So you're going to go out there, you're going to go start making it, because we want to build a life that we are excited about. We want to build a life, not that we are avoiding things or we're ignoring things, but we are doing the things that we love and the things that we are passionate about. So these are the things that we're going to be focusing on. So we're creating those friendships. We're going out and trying new things. We're saying yes to things that maybe we wouldn't have said yes to before. This is all just part of the fun and excitement of it. After we start doing that, and we're going to, we're going to, I guess I'll take a step back. As we're doing that, we're going to also be checking in with ourselves. How do we feel? How do we feel when we are around these people? This is great practice, because a lot of us too, while we were in this toxic relationship, we were actually, there was a little voice inside of our head. Our intuition was saying, this is not good. We don't like this. And then that thinking part of our brain is like, well, we said we were going to be together forever, and maybe it's my fault, and maybe there's nobody else good out there for me, and blah, 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 all these things. and we ignored that intuition. So part of healing is reconnecting to that intuition. So if you don't have a writing utensil and some paper, I definitely recommend always bringing that when you come to these, because one of the things that you're doing, other than doing the things that you like to do, making new friends, which you could be writing those two things down, but the other one is you're going to be checking in with your intuition. You're going to be relearning when that little voice inside of you says something. I want you to start listening. And I want you to start paying attention to that voice being, is it fear? Because that might be in a different place of your body. Or is that your intuition saying, hey, let's do this instead. Or let's try to do this. And I always say, start out small. Like you're coming home from work and you feel like making a left for some weird random reason. Just go left. Take a little extra time to get home. Like do a little bit roundabout. For some reason, I'm going to get gas today. I don't know why. I'm just going to stop and get gas. And then just notice if there's anything that's different and that stands out for you. So you're going to start really connecting to that intuition. And then the next thing that you're going to do is after you're, and you're kind of doing this all at the same time, of course. The next thing is I want you to start looking at how you communicate. Because if we're going to be building healthy relationships, you sure as hell better believe that you need to be able to communicate. Now, for those of you who are like, I'm a great communicator, it was my ex that was so terrible. If that's true, when did you tell them that you weren't happy? When did you tell them that you wanted to get a divorce? How open and honest were you with your feelings? And I know that it's really hard to talk to someone who is toxic and doesn't want to listen. I get that. But after we said what we had to say, then did we take action on what we said? So part of communication is boundaries. This is creating healthy relationships. Having healthy boundaries and being able to communicate. You are not going to be able to create any types of healthy relationships if you cannot communicate. Start sharing what your wants and needs are. I always say, let your weirdo flag fly. Be you, unapologetically. Don't put yourself in a little box to try to make other people happy. Because if you do that and then you start dating, you're going to meet someone that maybe is kind of someone that you might like. But then you're going to, instead of being you unapologetically, you're going to try to be what they want you to be. And then you're going to end up being in another unhealthy relationship. We don't want to do that again. Been there, done that. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? So we want to make sure that we are unapologetically ourselves. We are communicating. Obviously, we don't have to be mean. However, speaking up our mind and sharing our wants and needs. And if that other person is hurt, that's not us being mean. They're responsible for their own feelings. We need to be true and real and honest. So practice communicating, practice sharing, and as people that are used to being successful, they're type A people, we might be really good at communicating in business or a work environment, but when it comes to our relationships, we might not be as good because we're people pleasers. We want to make everybody else happy. We're afraid of hurting people's feelings. But I will tell you that it's actually much meaner to not share your feelings about things and to feel resentment and anger towards someone and be with someone you don't want to be with. That is actually way worse than sharing what your feelings are, what your needs are, and walking away from the things that don't serve you. It is much better to be open and honest. So communication, hands down, if you want healthy relationships, you have to learn how to communicate. Is this helpful so far? I have so much stuff. I'm so excited if you can't tell. All right, let me just stop for a second. Let me breathe. All right, hold on. Okay. Sarah says, I'm such a loyal person. It hurts my brain to think I should stop being friends with people I've been friends with for 20 years. Well, Sarah, I didn't say you should stop being friends with people you've been friends with for 20 years. I said you should bring out and start to expand your friendship circle. So it doesn't have to just be, I'm a super loyal person too, which is probably one of the reasons why we stayed in those unhealthy relationships. However, when you are going through the divorce, you need to start having other friends that are also going through a divorce and or also single. You want to expand your group of people. Some of those people that you've been friends with for 20 years, some of them might naturally fall off. That might happen. I can't say that that's not a possibility. However, this is not about getting rid of, it's about adding on. So you want to add on those people that are going to be supportive and helpful for the new you that you are creating. So thank you for asking that question, Sarah. I am not saying get rid of all of the friends you've ever had, 100% not. You just want to expand your circle, expand your community so that you have people that are there to build up the newest version of you. And like I said, some of those people that are in your circle are not really there to help you build the best version of you. You want to have really those people that are there to support you. So again, some of those people from your old life are going to stick around as you make changes. Some of those people are naturally going to fall off. And it might be sad at the time, but it's what's necessary. Sometimes people just grow and change, and that's okay. But we're looking at rebuilding and really creating that supportive circle that is really helpful. So hopefully, Sarah, let me know if that made sense to you or if that was a little bit more clear. Let me just see if there's any other questions here. I'm in a few other places. I don't see anything. All right. Again, any questions about any of this, please feel free. We're talking about creating healthy relationships. So just write those in the comments. And definitely the more you interact, the more that I can share and support wherever you are at. Okay. The last thing that I really want to talk about, well, I guess this is the second to last, is I want you to stop avoiding. Let's be real. We avoid. This is one of the biggest issues that I would say most of us have. And I can't say I haven't done it either. We don't want to feel pain. We don't want to feel like we're hurting other people. Our brain wants to do everything it can to feel safe and good and avoid pain. We want to avoid discomfort. If you actually, I'm thinking about this. Did you see the, what was the name of the show? It was on National Geographic. It was with Chris Hemsworth. I think it was something about, I don't remember if David remembers, but it was like being able to live, something about living longer. It was the name. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe someone who's watching remembers it, but it doesn't matter. One of the things that was really cool about that show was the fact that all the things that Chris Hemsworth did to really push his body out of comfort zone, those were all the things that actually help extend your life. Doing things that are outside of your comfort zone. So all that pain that you're avoiding, actually taking care of that pain actually helps you. That's why, one of the things like the big thing, the big fad is people going in and doing those ice baths. Ice baths feel terrible when you're in it. And then you get out of it. You're like, woohoo, I feel really good. Same thing with the avoidance. When we're in it, when we're dealing with having those hard conversations, doing those hard things, it doesn't feel great. But then when we're on the other side, we're like, woohoo, I feel so much better. I feel great. I feel like I've had a release. It's amazing how many people have health issues when they are avoiding dealing with the problems in their life. When they are avoiding dealing with having those hard conversations, ending those relationships that are not healthy for them. All of the things that are related to this. There's so many people that have had health issues. That was me. I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I had back issues. I had migraines. I had bursitis in my shoulder. Like I had all these things that have been gone for years, but I had them prevalently. And before I went through my dark night of the soul, I had a blood clot. I was having like heart palpitations, like all of these things that are all gone. I stopped avoiding. Now I can't say there's some times where I'm like, oh, I was avoiding. Let me take a step back and let me do that thing I didn't really want to do. But speaking up and going through that pain right away actually will prolong your life. It actually keeps you alive. It keeps you awake, keeps you paying attention to things, keeps you checking in with yourself. So we don't want to keep avoiding ourselves and living in this place of like half living where we're like, we know that we need to do this thing, but we're scared. We're worried. We don't want to hurt other people's feelings, like Sarah said before. And so we avoid. And all that does is keeps us stuck longer. And when we are stuck, we are not growing. And when we are not growing, we are decaying. Our body needs that growth cycle. It's like when you're, again, like another example, like when you work out, you're to build up that muscle, you got to break the muscle a little bit. So you got to break down the muscle in order to rebuild it. So it doesn't feel so great after you work out. You're like, oh, that hurts. That's because that muscle is rebuilding. Same thing when it comes to these relationships. which is why having that support system and having a coach and having the right people on your team is really going to help, because things are going to hurts a little, but it hurts way more to live this life where you're not happy. That's going to hurt way more, at least in my opinion. And to do the world a disservice by not doing all those awesome things you were put here to do. So when you look at building those healthy relationships, you've got to look at all those different parts. And then once you get into that, then you can start dating for educational purposes. Because once you start dating for educational purposes, then you're not going to be going out and looking for, hey, I need to prove my worth to the next person who shows me attention. We're looking in our minds and saying, is this person worthy of me? Are they worthy of my time and energy? Is this someone who's going to work well with who I am? Instead of, can I fit myself in the box to make them happy? Am I going to be worried about saying the wrong thing? Am I going to walk on eggshells? Am I going to be the best version of myself? Are they going to help me bring out the best version of myself? These are the questions we're going to ask ourselves. And because we are no longer avoiding and we know who we are and we have those people, that if things don't work out in that relationship, if we decide to move further on with it, we are not afraid to say, this isn't working for me. I'm going to let you go. And I'm going to continue looking for the right person for me. When you do that pre-stuff where you're taking care of yourself, and you're communicating, you're not avoiding, you've got your friendships, you know that you're going to be okay. You know that that person that you're in that relationship with is not everything in the world. Now, I'm not saying love isn't beautiful and a partnership isn't beautiful, but you will be okay. And you can really actually feel that when you've taken care of those other parts of ourselves. It might hurt at the time, but when we deal with it more quickly, we don't have to have years and years and years of spending time again with the wrong person. We do the hard thing, rip off that Band-Aid, and then we move on to the next things that will be better for us, better suited for us. And if things are not working well and we've been with that person for a while and they are the things that we want, we will know how to communicate and we will not be avoiding those hard conversations, which will continue that relationship to be healthy. Because being raw and real is what is a relationship. Being able to talk through the hard things is a healthy relationship. Knowing what your wants and needs are all part of a healthy relationship. And if you've noticed, talking about healthy relationships, the whole part of this was taking care of you. As you take care of you, you are therefore preparing yourself for other relationships moving forward. But until you reconnect with that relationship with yourself and take care of you, you're going to fall back into those old patterns. And actually, if you're in that place where you're like, I think I want to start dating again, if you go over to our website, beinglovedshouldn'thurt.com, we actually have a course that's called Creating Healthy Relationships. So if you're in that place and you're thinking like, hey, I think I want to start dating again, go check it out. It's $47. I give you, like, it's a few hours. You can do it in a weekend. It's going to give you a lot of really great information. If you're in that place of looking to start dating, go over and grab it. I mean, if you're interested in doing that, but definitely worth it if that's where you are. And that, like, what should I do? I'm ready to start dating. I don't know. Go and check out Creating Healthy Relationships on our website. And if you missed that, just send me a message. I can send you the link. All right. Any questions? Let me go back over here. Oh, okay, good. Sarah says, that's clear. Sarah said she was guilty. That's probably about avoidance. I see it. Anybody else, any questions? Let me go through over here. It's kind of fun to be in a different spot. I like being able to stand and talk to all of you. I don't know if the rest of you are arm talkers. I arm talk differently when I'm standing than when I'm sitting. But I was actually thinking today of when I was at the gym, I was like, I don't know what I would do. Like, even when I walk, I like really swing my arms. It's like a workout every time I just have a conversation. I can't talk as well if I'm not allowed to use my hands. I don't know. My mom's French. Is that European or is that, I don't know. Is that just some people's different personalities? I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Are there any questions anybody has up until this point? Has this been helpful? The Creating Healthy Relationships. This is like, so like when I say we go from thinking about divorce to beyond, the beyond is so fun to us because, you know, we've had clients that were like, hey, I don't know if I ever want to be in a relationship again. That was so terrible. They were a narcissist. I wasn't really comfortable or happy in that relationship. And some of those people, for the first time in their lives, are actually very, very happy being single. Actually, I would say they all are. very happy being single. And then some of those people decide to stay being single for a little while, and they never did their adult life. And some of those people, we've had four clients just recently get married. So they got married to their amazing partners and are super happily married, had a great life. They're able to speak up for themselves, share their wants and needs, completely different experience than what they had before. So those kinds of things are beautiful to see. We love being able to help people create those healthy relationships after their divorce, because it's a beautiful thing to have a great partner. And it's also a beautiful thing to live that life that you're excited about, no matter what that is. It's another beautiful part of it. All right. No other questions? Helpful. Good. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. All right. So here's what I want to just share with everybody. We are going live again next week. Remember, we're going to be having divorce attorneys, a mediator. We're actually going to be having someone. She will be talking about finances again, but it's going to be for especially for people that maybe are widows or widowers, and some of the things that they've had to deal with. We have noticed actually ourselves that the clients have come to us that were widows or widowers, and then they started dating afterwards. There was underlying things that were involved in that too. And so we're going to talk about that next week also. And then, like I said, we have a specific divorce coach where he's going to help you make sure that you have all your paperwork set up ahead of time for you to go through that divorce to actually save you money in the long run. So he's actually going to be going live on Monday. All right, so I just shared a whole bunch of things. If you want to put in the comments, what's one thing that really stood out to you the most out of today in creating healthy relationships? Is there anything in particular that you're like, hey, that really made sense or that clicked for me? I would love to hear that in the comments, so write that down. Again, if you are coming on and watching this from one of the other platforms, if you are a female, you can go and watch the replay in our private FB group, which is Divorce Support, Heal, Rebuild, and Thrive. If you are watching this, if you are a dude and you want to follow this, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Being Loved Shouldn't Hurt. Go ahead and follow that channel, and you can watch the replays there really easily. And of course, follow all of the different social medias where we're on. It's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, obviously. We're on LinkedIn, all the different places. Go ahead and follow us there too, so that you can catch any of the short form videos. And you want to make sure that you can see when we're going live, because we're always sharing great information with everyone that needs it in order for them to start their healing process. So make sure you go ahead and follow us on the different social medias if you have not done so already. Here comes the part that I'm super excited about. If you've got 5 more minutes, I just want to share this really cool thing that we have available that we're doing exclusively for Valentine's Day. Starting today up until the 14th, so a week from today at midnight, so the midnight going into the 15th, you are going to have the opportunity to work with us in a 6-week program. Normally our programs are 12 weeks. We're offering a special 6-week program that will be starting on Monday, February 17th. We're looking for 10 people that are looking to get support, looking to get accountability, looking to be a part of a community, looking to have curriculum for them to follow so they can take the guesswork out, looking to have weekly group coaching sessions, have the mindset shift that we talked about with David on Tuesday, have all of that to really support them in what is called the Healing Accelerator. This is the first time ever that we are offering this. Like I said, normally the minimum is a 12-week program. We are offering a 6-week program, and for 6 weeks would be $14.99. We are offering it to you for the first 10 people for $9.97. So if you are looking to really start creating those changes before the summertime comes, before the next chapter comes, you want to be like, when you get to April, you want to feel like you're in a very different place than where you're at now, then definitely if you are doing this on, Facebook, you can comment a heart if you would like us to reach out to you. Everybody else, send me a private message and we'll book a call to get you into that. The sooner that you let us know you'd like to do that 6-week program, that Healing Accelerator, will ensure that you get in. So if there's ever been a time where you're like, I know I need help, I've been really frustrated, but I haven't really known what to do, then definitely jump in on the Healing Accelerator. It is 6 weeks. Coaching is very different from therapy. Coaching, we're here to specifically get you to your next goal. So if you are in the beginning of thinking about getting a divorce, we're going to help you figure out what your next steps are. If you are in the process of divorce, we're going to help you stay emotionally focused on what you need to do, and we're going to help you start the rebuilding as you're going through the divorce. If you're on the other side of divorce, we're going to help you rebuild emotionally. We can help you set up with a financial advisor, like all the things that you need to do to really start getting out of your subconscious programming, those things that have kept you stuck, and we're going to help you process those so that you can start rebuilding. And if you're on the other side of that and you're like, hey, I think I want to start dating again, we can help you with that too. So the 6-week Healing Accelerator is going to help you get to that next level much more quickly. So we are looking for 10 people. That's it. Either you have to sign up by February 14th at midnight, or the 10 people sign up, whichever comes first. So don't delay. This is something to jump on. Again, we've never offered this before, but you will be getting sessions with me privately. You'll be getting unlimited coaching. You'll be able to work with David privately. I mean, we're giving you everything that you need to really create those shifts and make those actionable changes for your life. Stop living a life where you're living for everybody else and start living that life that you are excited about. Start stepping into your power and doing all those great things that you were put here to do, because it wasn't to sit here and be upset and frustrated. Life is too short to waste our time doing that. So why not make the decision today to say, you know what? I'm going to get out of my own way. I'm going to stop thinking about whether or not I should go out of this relationship. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to get help to help me get there. And like I say, we're never here to tell you what to do. We're here to help you achieve your goals. We're helping to hold your hands to make sure that you have the right resources, the right guidance, the right support to make sure that you are creating that life, that you have the power and the voice to create that life that you're excited about. So again, if you are interested in joining the first 10 people to sign up by the 14th, they're going to be the ones who are going to be included in that. Send me a private message. If you're following me right now on our Facebook group, you can go ahead and put a heart in the comments and we will reach out to you and set up a time to chat. Should only be like a 15-minute chat to just make sure we get your information, make sure that we're in alignment, that this is the right fit for you, because we always want to make sure that we are with people and giving them the exact supports that they need. So we'll just jump on a quick call to help them through. And then we can get you right into the course. And then we'll be starting officially on the 17th of February. And we will have a finance plan. If you cannot do right away $997, if you need to break that up, we can talk about breaking that up too. All right. I am here. We went a little bit over than what we've been doing. We've been doing half hours, but this was a recap. This was sharing something exciting and healthy relationships, which is all really great stuff. So I want to make sure that you had all that information. Let me just make sure I have any other questions. Sarah said, I think my relationship with myself is not good right now. How do I stop being so hard on myself for staying so long? So Sarah, I would definitely, if you can join the 6-week cohort, I definitely recommend doing that. The Healing Accelerator, that's going to help you get out of your own way, get out of your thought processing, I guess I should say. A session with David at the very least would be really helpful. You might also too, I talked before about going to our courses on our website, which is Being Loved Shouldn't Hurt. Should I Stay or Should I Go is actually one of the courses. You might want to get that one. Other people might be in the Finding Love or, some of the other, the co-parenting with a toxic ex. Those are the other courses. But for you, Sarah, at the very least, I would probably recommend Should I Stay or Should I Go and a session with David. That'll help you start getting out of your own way. And then really accountability would be the next thing. So if you could, the best thing would be to be able to join that 6-week. But if you can't do that, get a session with David, get the course, Should I Stay or Should I Go? That's going to help you really get started and get you out of that thinking that's keeping you stuck. Great question. All right, anybody else? I see people joining, but I don't see a lot of questions. I always appreciate, Sarah, thank you so much for chatting with me and hanging out. I know there's a lot of people that are watching. Not everybody wants to share what they're thinking, because I understand when I was going through my divorce, there was a lot of guilt and shame. When I was thinking about it, there was a lot of guilt and shame. So I totally get it if you are still in that place where you don't really want to share. But definitely send me a private message. We can always chat, even if it's just to go back and forth. But, we can really get you started so that you're setting yourself up for success. and really creating that life that you want. You know, think about us if you're like, I don't know what to do. We're the life coaches for people that are in crappy relationships and they don't want to be. You know, you want to make it super simple. Get out of your own thinking. Whatever has gotten you here is what is keeping you stuck. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care what degrees that you have, because I had them all. I was even a certified crisis counselor back then, and I was still in crappy relationships. So I want you to stop blaming yourself. I want you to stop talking so negatively about yourself. And I want you to realize that you do have the power to create something new for yourself. Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. You have the power to create that. I can't do that for you. I can help support you doing that. If we come and work together, I can help you get there and give you that scaffold and give you that support to boost you up, you know, but I can't do it for you. You're going to have to be the one that does it. And I'm really good at noticing where you're messing up. And I will lovingly tell you that you're doing something that's hurting you, not helping you. Because most of us will say, well, I know better. Well, then why do we keep doing the same thing? Because we need that support to do something different. We need to get out of those fears that we have stuck in our head. So having that right support is super helpful. All right. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Looks like I got no other questions. I love coming and helping all of you. I love being here. I love being able to support you. If you're not ready yet to make those changes and you're like, I need to hold on a little while longer, I'm still in the thinking about stage, I get it. Keep showing up to these lives. We're going to be going all next week also, every day at noon Central Time for those lunch and learns. We're going to go all the way through. We're going to keep supporting you until you get there. But I will tell you, the sooner that you make that decision to say, I am going to do whatever it takes not to be stuck anymore, and you start taking those actions to make the changes, whether it's finally leaving, whether it's rebuilding, whether it's starting to dip your toe back in the dating ocean, whatever that is, you're going to be happy when you have that right support to get you there. So the sooner that you make it so that your life is yours and you realize that you have the power to create what it is, that's when life changes for you. And that's when you just open up the possibilities for the greatness that you were put here to do. So I hope that was helpful. If you would like to share this with anyone that you think might need it, you never know. There's a lot of people out there that need some support. I know people that I knew did not know how much I needed something like this. So go ahead and share this with your social media people, with your following, in case somebody that is listening right now might be like, oh, I think I need that information, but I wouldn't have known how to find it. Most of the people I talk to will say, I had no idea this even existed when I was going through a divorce or a toxic relationship. I wish I had that then, because now, you know, they're remarried or wherever they're at. Really great to know that this is available. So go ahead and share this, and I will see you on Monday. If you have any questions about anything we talked about, feel free to send me a private message. Make sure you are following our accounts, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Never forget, you are way stronger than you realize. See you next episode. Bye.